how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns, and you're at the Solomon Project. I want to make a couple of corrections. For some reason, I keep flipping numbers around. For example, the Securities and Exchange Commission didn't get started in 1943, like I mentioned in my previous video. It started in 1934. Flipped it around. Also, when my mother went over to Puerto Rico to give birth to me, she didn't have 10 boys and 3 girls. She had 9 boys and 4 girls. I'm boy number 10. So I flipped that around too. And by the way, if I didn't mention this before, 4.5 years after I was born, she was pregnant again with twins. It would have been her 4th set of twins. But unfortunately, on the Triborough Bridge, my dad got into a car accident and she wound up miscarrying the twins. I had a lot to say earlier, but I couldn't get to you guys. But there's one very interesting thing I do want you to take a look at. Look at this. Look at this. Will you look at it? Look at it. 2023, the United States spent more than $500 billion on marketing. About 1/3 of the world's total marketing revenue, folks. Let that sink in for a second. $500 billion in 1 year. More than $500 billion in marketing. You know, businesses, they don't just throw money away like that. When they invest in marketing, and it's not just corporations that do that, of course, in government, they do that too. They spend money on marketing. Now, I want you to stop and think. More than $500 billion is being, well, it says spent, but it's not just spent. That's an investment. When a corporation invests, it's investing with the sole purpose of getting a return on investment. You might have seen those letters capitalized somewhere. Maybe in a news article, maybe on a video somewhere. Capital R, capital O, capital I. That is return on investment. More than $500 billion. What is the purpose of marketing? Marketing is supposed to convince you to participate in something or participate in giving up your money. That's the purpose of marketing. Bring your attention to something that's going to motivate you to do something, or motivate you to do something and kick out your money. Remember, your money is your power. That is your power. It's not the ultimate power, but it is your power. So these people, these corporations, these entities are spending more than $500 billion to get into your head so that they can get into your pocket. So just how effective is marketing? It would have to be extremely effective if they're going to invest all that money into it. And yes, marketing is extremely effective. if you were born around the time when radio was created, then you've probably been hammered with marketing on a daily basis for all, if not most, of your life. And then when it went from radio to television, you got hammered even more. And now that you have access to videos right on your phone, and sometimes we leave these devices on all night, you are getting hammered with marketing. I'll tell you how significant that is. Sorry about that. There was a law passed. I forget what year it was, but there was a law passed where marketers couldn't make commercials too short. Believe that? Too short. Yeah. When you used to go to the movie theater, there used to be ads for the concession stand, you know, the popcorn and all that good stuff. But what would happen was that the whoever was making these ads, or even during the movie, not the ads, I'm sorry, during the movie, they would splice in images of popcorn, hot dogs, and things like that. And it was so short that consciously you couldn't pick up on those.
All set, paperwork's in the office.
Thank you. I'll be right back. So those ads were so brief, so short, your conscious mind couldn't pick up on it, but your subconscious mind was picking up on that. And the government abolished that. We weren't allowed to do that anymore. You can make a commercial as long as you want, but there's a cutoff as to how short it can be. Interesting, ain't it? I'll be right back. So yes, that is a lot of money spent trying to get into your head. And they are going to get a return out of getting into your head. Do you ever wonder why you have the desire to purchase the things that you wanted to purchase? Did this just come out of the blue? It didn't. Marketing had a lot to do with that. And it's interesting because the way marketing works, it's not just one single message. There are other little messages attached to that one message. So it's not just a desire for you to buy anything. It also has that little element that tells you, hey, make sure that if a person tells you what they want to buy, make sure that you apply pressure for certain items. If they want to buy sneakers, they can't just buy any sneaker. They have to have certain brands. And if they don't talk about buying certain brands, you have to apply some type of pressure to make them want to buy certain brands. So it's not cut and dry with the marketing. And so whenever you feel a desire to want to purchase certain things, take a look at 3 and 4-year-olds before you go buy anything. Because you were once 3 and 4 years old. Did you care about what brand of diaper you were wearing? I don't think so. You didn't care what was on your feet. You didn't care what clothes you had on. Maybe at 4 you might. Well, no, then that's marketing. The marketing got the kid if that's the case. If they wanted a particular cartoon personality, then they got him. But that's the power of marketing. And we don't shed that as we get older. It gets worse. Virginia Slims, the cigarette brand. Have you ever seen an ad for Virginia Slims? It's usually a young lady. She's usually in good health. She fits a particular appearance that our society might classify as good looking, for whatever that means. And she's got a big old smile on her face, and her teeth are pearly white. My mother used to smoke 4 packs of Pall Mall a day and drink coffee. I can tell you right now, my mother's teeth were not pearly white. But in order for Virginia Slims to sell cigarettes, they put a young lady in the ad. She probably doesn't even smoke, but they make that association in your mind. Beer companies sometimes will utilize athletic looking guys. That's not your average beer drinker. Your average beer drinker has a beer gut. And he's not usually athletic looking. But that's the power of marketing. You're making an association with a product along with somebody who has a specific look that you would like to have, maintain, or adopt. That's the power of marketing. I had a friend tell me one day, when I walk into Walmart, I never come out empty-handed. I can't come out empty-handed. That's the power of marketing. Let's see how our friend AJ's doing. So AJ has been listening to Richard Burns. He's been keeping the same lifestyle as he had when he was making $300 a week. He didn't change it at all, even though he got an increase in pay. So now he's bringing home $350 as opposed to $300. But he hasn't changed his lifestyle. So he's taking 10% of the $350 and he's depositing it into Schwab. Let's see how AJ's doing in Schwab. So here's the total value of his account. You can see that the 1 year change, which is the most impressionable, it's changed $1,468, an increase of $430.79. Now, if I was trying to blow smoke, I would use that figure there, that 430%, and I would use that to entice you into some kind of course that I was offering. However, I want you to know that 430% is not representative of how the portfolio is performing. That's a representation of the deposits and the performance. If we wanted to see how it was actually performing, then we would have to go to a section where it says rate of return. And as you can see here, it's showing you the rate of return from May 20th, 2023 to May 19th, 2024. And it's a rate of return of 26.79. That's extremely impressive. AJ is doing extremely well, uncommonly well. In fact, he showed this to his bank teller. They sent them over to the manager, and the manager's jaw dropped. Couldn't believe it. 26.79%. Who's managing your account, they asked. No one. It's mine. That's impossible. How could you be performing? Well, that's what it is. AJ is keeping track of this part here. It says investment income. So the estimate for 2024 is $111.12. In January, the 1st of January, it was at $77. But now, he's going to make $111.12. Is this passive income? Almost. Almost. Some of it is, some of it isn't, because every week that he goes into his account, he takes the $35 and he purchases more shares. So it's no longer passive. But the shares he owned on previous purchases, those are paying dividends, and those can be classified as passive income. How long does it take for AJ to go into his account from the time he picks up the phone? How long does it take for him to execute a purchase? Well, it takes him 38 seconds. 38 seconds for him to grab the phone, unlock his phone, go to the app and open it, pick the stock he wants to buy, and purchases the shares. 38 seconds. So every week, he takes 38 seconds, and as a result of using 38 seconds a week of his life, he's going to generate $111.12. And it's going to continue to increase. Not the amount of time he spends purchasing shares, but the amount of money he's going to make as income will continue to increase. 38 seconds a week. Right now, as you can see, he's already received $32.46. There's a $78.66 remainder to complete the $111. But even that's going to go higher every week. If you break it down on a monthly basis, he's making $9.26 a month, which will also be increasing. Remember, the amount of time he spends purchasing shares, that's not going to change. It's going to be 38 seconds every week. And yet the monthly average is going to increase. The remaining average is going to increase. And the estimated amount is going to continue to increase. First hurdle is getting to $2,000 as a total for his portfolio. Total value. He wants to get to a total value of $2,000. He's almost there. He's almost there. And when you go to the rate of return again, 26.79% return. It's unheard of. It's outrageous. Let me know what you think about just how much money is spent on marketing. And let me know what you think about AJ's account and how it's doing, how it's performing. We'll pick this up again another day, and we'll keep showing AJ's performance. All right, Kitty, I think we gave him enough. Put on a show, Kitty. Show him how you drive.
Arabam Dacia, seviyorum çift kalem aça. Göremedi kimseden fayda. İşler